Hello everyone, my name is Mariam and welcome to my Cricut Design Space tutorials. Some people asked me recently how I design my 3D butterfly cards and the leaves cards. There are several ways I tried. Initially, I designed my first one in Inkscape software by drawing them or tracing from a different SVG files which I'm planning to make tutorials to explain everything about Inkscape from the scratch. But today I will show you how to design the 3D um, butterfly card in Cricut Design Space itself. I'm going to make a beautiful Valentine card. I think it's just the perfect timing. Everyone is planning for Valentine cards at the moment. You can add your personal message. You can add your own design as well. It's very simple to make. Some steps may be a little bit intermediate level, but that's okay. You can refer to my previous tutorials for more explanation. So especially tutorial 2, if you would like to know how to install fonts using the glyphs. Tutorials 3 and 4 for how to download images from websites, especially SVG or if it can be PNG or JPEG format. And if you need help with shapes, how to resize, change the color, rotate, that will be tutorials 7 and 8. I will add the links for those tutorials in the description of the video below. So please check them if you are not familiar with how to do any of those steps. So what sort of butterfly or leaf or heart do we need to look at? Basically, we need only the outline of the shape. We need to be sure that the shape is not fully closed. So if I have here the wing fully closed, simply when I attach it to the card, it will be fully cut out of the card. No, I need to have a little bit of space to be sure it's still attached to the card and only the machine will cut the outline here. And then I have the option at the end to bend the wings and gives the 3D effect. So that's done in Inkscape, which I will teach you in the future how to do it. So please let me know in the comment below if you would like to learn that technique, how to draw in that software. But the other option as well we have, you can go to one of the websites that has SVG files and you can save it in Cricut Design Space. This is an amazing website. It's called the Pixabay. All what you need to do, you need in search button to write butterfly, and in the menu you select the vector graphics. They have heaps of files. That's only one page out of 7. They have wonderful designs, like a several layers, or it can be like a single layer. And whatever you would like to choose, you simply click on the file and you go down and it says free for commercial use. You need to have an account which is free to set up to be able to download. And you click free download and be sure you select the vector graphic and then download. When it gets downloaded on your computer, all what you need to do, you go to Cricut, and as I showed you in tutorial 3, simply you click on upload, upload an image, and then you select the file from your computer. Now I already uploaded them on Cricut Design Space previous to the tutorial, so they are all here. But also there is another option. You can click on images, and in search all images you write butterfly and then search. And if you don't have access to Cricut subscription, you can tick free. And there are about 16 here you can upload. So I actually selected some of them and I added to the canvas. So let's see how we do it. If I select this one, I need to do click offset on the top, change this one on the slider bar to make it inset, and then apply. And what I need to do, I will select both of them, the original and the inset, and slice. Get them out. Okay, perfect. I don't need these two, so I will select them and delete. And all what I need is the outline. Then we click Shapes. We click on the circle, unlock it, and we need to do it like oval shape. Perfect. Select both of them and then slice. All right. I don't need any of these. Delete. And then if I don't want the antenna, I simply click contour on the bottom right, click on the two antennas, and then X. Nice and simple. Now this is ready to straight away attach it to the card. If I want to select, let's say, one of those, this is a little bit tricky. You need to do more contour in this one, but it's still easy. So first we get shapes, circle, unlock, make it oval shape, and slice. So it's the same idea. It didn't slice straight away because the shape has a lot of little tiny things need to be welded first as one piece. So I will click weld first because the slicing only works when you select two things because this object had many little pieces. So it's considered that I selected more than two objects to slice. Now it's fully welded. I'll put the oval shape again in the middle. Now I select both of them and then the slice becomes available option, slice. All right, perfect. This is what I need. I don't need that one. And here again, if I don't want the antenna or anything, then I can contour. If you need just the outline, then we select hide all contours. Only one outline of one wing is selected. I'm going to select the other one as well. And then click X. Let's try that one. So as you can see, this one has small pieces. I only gonna select one layer from it, which is this one. So first ungroup to separate them, and then scroll down in the right panel until you find the layer which has the full one. Drag it down. Now I don't need this one anymore. And then you can do the same with what we did in that one, which is the offset. And move the sliding bar to the left to make it inside the shape. And then apply. Change it to different colors so we can see it. Select both of them. And then slice. And then again, we get a circle, change it to oval shape. So this is the one we need. Again, you can contour whatever you don't like in the shape. And then you get the circle and separate them from the middle. All right, so let's do our card. So in Design Space, we click on Template on the left side, select the cards. It will be only reference. From the top, you have the option to select the bifold vertical or horizontal. I selected horizontal and then you can select the size, let's say 7 times 5 inches, or you can click custom. Select the width and the height you would like. And also you can select a different color for your template. It's just template. It's not going to be at the end cut on the make it screen. Then I click on shapes, click on square, drag it down, change the color. Let's say we are going to make a red color. Card. We zoom to be able to do it properly. Unlock the square, resize it. So now it's matching the templates. From the beginning, we could have done this, the same without actually selecting template by selecting the square and resize it to the size you would like. Now we clicked on shape, selected line. We selected both of them, the rectangle and the line, and then we did align center to be sure that the scoring line in the middle of the card. Now I would like to have the frame which I am going to draw inside it. We are going to select a heart from the shape, resize it, If you want to change a little bit the dimension of the heart, you click on the lock pad and you can make it a bit longer or a bit wider. And once you are happy with the size of the heart, lock it again. Now I need to get a square representing the half of my actual red card. Again, this yellow square is not going to cut at the end, it's just to help me with the alignment. I want to be sure that the heart exactly in the middle of the right side of the card. Again, unlock, resize it, made the whole square covering half of the red card. Selecting both the yellow square and the heart and align and then center. You couldn't see it originally because the heart was underneath the yellow square, so I moved it to the top by left click on the right panel and it dragged the heart above the square. You can click arrange and send to the front. Now I had my shapes, which we did in the first part of the tutorial on the left side. Now we need to organize them nicely inside your heart. So I got the first butterfly and simply I use a duplicate function to be sure I am actually duplicating the same size. And once you duplicate, you can select both of them and flip, either horizontally or vertically, depends how you want it. Now I'm selecting the heart, rotate, and then selecting both of them, align, and then center vertically. You can change the color to see it nicely or easier on the screen, but at the end, remember, those colors will not show on the Make It screen, so it will be all attached to the card. I'm adding circle to the design and then selecting the heart, duplicate, flip horizontally, move it to the other side. So grouping, duplication, and flipping are the most important tool to be sure you are aligning properly, easier to duplicate. And that's the main idea. You are not going to draw the shapes all from the scratch. So let's say I have this butterfly and I want to be sure it's aligned nicely with the other butterfly. So I select both of them and then center vertically. I got another butterfly. I'm speeding the tutorial a bit to save your time, but you can always on the YouTube click on the bottom right and slow down the tutorial to be able to see each step. I duplicated another butterfly here, selecting both of them, and then align and then center vertically to be sure they are on the x-axis, the same x-axis. I'm selecting the heart and butterfly to be sure they are on the same y-axis. So first I centered them and then I selected the butterfly and with the arrow, the bottom arrow on the keyboard, I moved it down without left clicking and drag, because if you do left click and drag, you can move it by accident right or left. But if you just select it and use the arrow on your keyboard, the alignment will be perfect. Of course, if you need to move it faster, you hold the shift key on your keyboard while you are selecting the arrow. If you need more help with the shapes, tutorial 7 and 8, it's comprehensive tutorial about everything about the shapes. Now I'm selecting some of them and grouping. So I grouped the 3 hearts because I don't need to repeat the whole process again by making them align. So this is the advantage of grouping. You do the alignment and then group them. Now I need to repeat those 3 hearts at different spots in my design. Now I'm selecting the first group of heart and the second group of heart, and I selected center horizontally, so both of them are on the same y-axis. I duplicated the first 2 butterflies. I did the same. Now I'm just repeating the same process, duplication, flipping, alignment, center horizontally. I decided at this stage not to use the antenna or the star. Mainly, I wanted my design to have a combination between some shapes will be fully cut, like little hearts and little butterflies, and the big butterfly with they are different shape. Those are the one will have a semi-cut, so then it will be splitted. As you can see here, it's simply I am filling the big heart to make a nice design, but I need to be sure at the very end, I zoom in and be sure nothing is overlapping. Sounds great. Now I hid the heart by clicking on the eye shape next to the heart, the yellow heart. So as you remember, the yellow heart was just a frame to design around the line. Now I'm going to select everything and at the very bottom right, click attach. So now we have the card. We need to add the text to the left side of the card. I'm selecting Samantha Upright Font. It is an incredible font. I love this one. I got it from Creative Fabrica. It's actually currently on sale at the moment. I will add the link for where I got it from in the description of the video. So I wrote the first word, happy, and then I write the second word as a different text. So Valentine, I wrote it as a different one instead of selecting the text from the beginning and putting both words underneath each other. So I can control more each word separately with a different alignment. So this is the font, as you can see, has wonderful glyphs, swooshes, a lot of ornaments as well, and some catchwords at the bottom. And there is actually heaps of selection. It took me a while actually to select the right one. Now for this step, because we are going to cut the text out from the card, I had to be very sure not to select the one with many swooshes at this stage. And that's because some letters like A, E, P, the loops of Y and the H, it has like a closed center, and that's called the counter. So to help that counter, you make a little rectangle around 0.07 centimeter width and the height 0.6 centimeter. If you want to do it with the inches, you click on the menu and in the setting change from metric to imperial. I duplicated that little rectangle, very, very tiny rectangle. And what we need to do, we need to slice a little bit from each letter has closed the center. We need to zoom in this step, very important. Okay, I drag the rectangle, selecting the whole word, happy, and the rectangle. Maybe it's better to do it from the right panel, will be easier to be sure you select the right rectangle, and then slice at the bottom right. Now, extra pieces will appear on the right panel. I don't need any of those extras, selecting one of them and then shift and select the others and then delete. Now what happened? A little opening in letter A. I will repeat the same steps with all other letters has closed the center. So the loop of the H, I have to do it as well. Why do we need to do that? Because I don't want the whole letter and the circle inside to be cut out from my card. The letter will look very funny. I need the details of the letter to appear. Only the outline of the letter needs to be cut from the card, not the circle inside. So that's the only way. So I repeated the same steps with all the letters. Now I selected both words, happy and Valentine, aligned them together. Now remember the first square we selected originally to align the heart. I'm using the same square again, which is representing now the left side of the red card. Selecting both of them, the yellow square and the happy Valentine, and then I align the center. Now I hid the yellow square, I don't need it anymore. Selecting everything on the screen and then select attach. Perfect. Now we are ready to make our card to cut on the screen. Now there are two options. Number one, I can select both sides and then flip horizontal. Why do we need to do that? Because the scoring is going to score in the middle of the card. This is actually the inside of the card. So I need to flip horizontally my design, the heart and the text. So now I hit the red card and I'm selecting the design, flip horizontally. I will make my red card visible again by clicking on the eye shape, selecting everything again, and then attach at the bottom right. When we click Make It, now the card is ready to be done without any extra step. There is another different way, which is mirror. Now I need to show you how some letters we can't select it as a cut. So you see that K has many swooshes and many loops. So that was actually going to make us slicing in many different places. I'm saving my design. When you see asterisk on the top, that means the design wasn't saved. Once you click Save, that asterisk disappear. Clicked Make It. Okay, perfect. So everything already flipped horizontally, so we are ready to do it. Now, what is the other option? I'm returning everything back to normal. I hit the red card again. I'm selecting the heart, flip horizontally to make it back to normal. I will select my text, flip horizontally to make it back to normal. I will make the red card visible, which already has a scoring line attached, selecting everything and then attach. I will save my design again. As you can see, there is asterisk on the top. That means it's unsaved. Once you click Save, it will say successfully saved. Perfect. Click Make It. In this case, you have to click Mirror, as you can see, under the mat on the left side. So there are two options we have. Now it's our turn to make a little opening inside the corners of the card to be able to insert another card inside, in the inner side of the card. So what I did, I clicked Shape, made a heart, duplicated the heart, changed both of them to a different color so I can see, moved the yellow heart a little bit down from the blue heart, selected both of them, and then slice. I don't need that part, I don't need that part. All what I need is the top curvy. Selected the one I don't need and delete. Rotate, then move it to the corner of my red card. And that will make a little opening, a little slit inside the red card. Duplicate it, flip horizontally, left click and drag, or on the keyboard, click on the arrow. Selecting both of them, align, center vertically. Selecting both of them, duplicate, flip vertically, move it to the bottom of the card. Now we have the four corners of the right side. I'll select the top, corners, duplicate, we'll move it to the left, duplicate again, and then flip vertically, move it to the bottom of the card. Now we have 8 corners in total. Organize them, be sure that it's not going on the scoring line, it's not overlapping with the corner of the actual card, so it's not fully cut. I only need a little opening inside the red card. Selecting all of them together and then attach. Now we need to write our personal message inside the card. You click Text, click System, and you can search the font you would like. And in filter, you select writing. But also Cricut Design Space has some fonts in writing. If you click all, you will be able to see them. They are specialized in writing. I explained that in details in tutorial 2, so please check it out. I selected one of the fonts. There are few of them free if you don't have the Cricut subscription. I start typing. So let's say you are writing your personal message, dear, and then writing the name. I wish you happy Valentine, whatever you would like to write. And then this type of font, because it's writing, it will appear exactly the same what's on the screen. It will not be drawing as outline. It will be like as if a normal writing. Align it wherever you want. You select the size, selecting both the card and the writing, and then click attach on the bottom right. So I'm telling the machine I want this writing on that card. Be sure that the inside the card is a little bit smaller from the red card. On the top, click Operation Pen. Cricut has a variety of pens, fine point and glitter. You select the color and the type of pen. And I will choose the blue glitter for the personal message. Now inside the card, I decided to make one side to have a happy Valentine in big font in drawing. I selected Samantha upright again because I love the swooshes. I really needed to use it in that card. Possibly you noticed I changed the color of the cards to match what cards I'm going to use. I typed the first word, happy, and then also Valentine. I use character map UWP to be able to copy the glyphs from the program to Cricut Design Space. And again, tutorial 2 has full explanation how to install fonts and how to use the glyphs. After I typed my text, I selected both of them and then aligned by making them center horizontally. You can still move it down a bit, move it up, just to leave it in the way you like it. And then I decided here to rotate. To be sure both of them rotated exactly the same angle, select one of them and see on the very top under the word rotate, you will find the exact angle. And then you can select the second text and you type the same number. Now go to Operation, select a pen. As you can see here, it's outline because it's not a writing font. Go to the colored square, select the type of pen. For this one, I decided to go with the marker 1 mm. That's a very thick one, and I will go with the black color. Now I decided to move some of the letters, so I selected the word Valentine, did ungroup, so then I have each letter separately, selected the I and E together, moved them a bit down, moved the N, and the best thing you do, you select and use the arrow on your keyboard. Now I finished adjusting, selected the whole letters of Valentine and grouped them again. Now it's very important when you have text to weld. Why? Either you do vinyl or writing, because each letter has an ending overlapping a bit with the following letter. You need to make them smooth, welded as if they are melted together. So I did weld both of them, selecting the card and the text, and then attach. All right, so what material do we need? A good green sticky mat or blue mat, cardstock, 65 or 80 pounds, Truecontrol, Cricut Basic Tool, which we need from it, the weeder, the spatula, and also we need the scoring wheel. We have two different options. First, the scoring wheel single or double. Single has 01 as a number on the wheel, and the double has 0, 2. The double makes a two parallel line. What is a scoring wheel? It's simply a wheel, which is like a blade, needs to be inserted in clamp B, so B for blades, and it has 10 times more pressure than the scoring stylus. It makes a flawless crease. Precisely, it can even score acetate sheets. If you use a scoring wheel, you need to be sure you insert it in clamp B and it only is compatible with the makers. If you have the Explorer, then you only have the option to use the stylus. But if you have the maker, you can use either the stylus or the scoring wheel. Now we need to remember the scoring wheel is actually coming with the QuickSwap housing, which is advantage because this is working with 5 different types of blade: the scoring, the wavy, the perforation, the engraving, and the debossing, which means if you have the quick swap with any of those blades, you don't need to buy quick swap housing again. You only need to buy the tips, and simply by clicking on the top button to push and hold, you can get the tip out and then insert the new tip. That's the scoring stylus, which is a pen, and if you will use it, you can insert it in clamp A while the fine point blade in clamp B. Here is the first screen. It comes up with the options. You choose the card stock. I use the 80 pound because that's the one I use. I use American Craft or Recollections. Pressure default. Now it said clamp A, nothing to insert. Clamp B, inserted a scoring wheel. For this tutorial specifically, I decided to use the stylus to show you how to change. So simply you click edit tool in green color and you select I want the stylus. That's because I have the maker, that's why I asked me for a scoring wheel. Now I inserted my stylus. It recognized that I did so, and it said loaded scoring stylus and fine point blade. Starts scanning to be sure all is loaded correctly, and then it asked me to press go, which I did. The machine generally knows if you inserted the wrong blade or the wrong or if the clamp is not closed properly or you haven't inserted the right one. Now it said scoring. So normally scoring done first and then detecting and starts cutting. It's done. It asked me to unload the material. Now it said load black pen, which I selected that color to draw the happy Valentine, which is going to be inserted inside the card. And underneath said coming, the blue metallic one. I insert the black pen. And now it said load the blue metallic one. I selected that color for the other side of the card to add my personal message. After finished drawing, it did the cutting. It cut the outside of the card. As you can see on the left panel, mat number 1 has a tick, mat number 2 has a tick, then the project is finished. You can unload, click finish, and that's the final product. I will add the links in the description below for all the tools I used. They are very important to get the intricate, tiny little pieces without destroying the card. So it's very important to do it correctly to get the lovely project out. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching and see you in next tutorial.